Hey, good morning, everybody. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. My name is Wayne McDonell. I am the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you very much for being a client on this day. If you are not yet a client, please allow this next hour for me to earn your loyalty and respect. I do these sessions every single day, Monday through Friday. Except for at the first Friday of the month, I'm at FXStreet.com, where I've been doing trade non-farm payrolls live for almost 12 years. And you show your loyalty and respect by at least opening a demo account and getting a chance to test our execution speed and our spreads and our customer service. And hopefully, one day when I help you become a successful Forex trader, you will choose TradersWay.com as your prime brokerage for your successful Forex trading business. Seems pretty reasonable to me, huh? So anyways, good morning. Get on you, mate. So what you been trading? What you got going on? What's on your mind? Or do you want me to just jump in? You know, one thing I could do then, hello, Windows. All right. It is a Monday. What's going on here? Looks like there's well over a dozen, couple of dozen trade plans already. Thank you very much for posting. Let's start with the calendar this morning. Let's start with high priority. Impact, there we go. Okay. Kiwi CPI. Yeah, well, look, if inflation's high, they may have to raise interest rates. We have an RBA meeting. What's going on in Asia then, right? UK CPI, more inflation data, great. Bank of Japan monetary policy statement and interest rate decision. That could be interesting. Remember, we're a bit early on the ends, right? We have about a month. But I got yens on my mind, you know. But we're early on it, so it'd be interesting if something comes out and we get some yen strength because of it. And then euro. Get their interest rate decision on Thursday. Let's add some medium in here and see what else we got going on. A lot of pig stuff tomorrow. More important than Brexit? Well, I guess if the UK or if Governor Carney is thinking about raising interest rates sometime soon to to fight a weak pound, although the pound hasn't been that weak recently. Huh? But anyways, that's what that would be all about, PPI and CPI. Okay, so just pound Tuesday, right? So maybe you trade today, so you're in your trade for tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, Ryan points to good Chinese data. You probably got the growth stuff. What was it, 6.9? Because they can't say 7.0. Bear in mind, it's a political year in China, so there couldn't possibly be any bad news. So take everything with a grain of salt, huh? More yen stuff on Wednesday. It all leads up to the statement. Pound retail sales. Yeah, imagine tourism is booming right now. Like I said, I might zip out to London soon, next couple of weeks. Good time to buy a watch from a British watch dealer, don't you think? Isn't that what you use foreign currency for? Right? Take the same Rolex in 5 different countries. Just based on foreign exchange, you might get a better deal. You know what I mean? Aye? Hey, Joe. What do you think? Panerai? All ceramic? 3-day, 8-day, or 10-day? I think they're be a cool watch. All right, Thursday, like I said, we got the inflation data for the pig, and by inflation, in this case, it leads up to inflation. So retail sales goes up when the pound goes down, and so on and so forth. It's a little bit backward looking, right? Because it's a little bit last month. Does anybody like the Panerai? I think it's one of those love-hate things. It's like a Mercedes G-Wagon. You're like, you paid $200,000 for that? I'm like, yeah. Really? You don't like it? It's boxy. It's dope. Oh, you like that one? Well, there's nothing to it. The Panerai, it's nothing. It's just ceramic. But when out of the entire 12 months of the trading year of the earthly calendar, when do we have the lowest volume and volatility, according to what Wayne says? Okay. All right. Cool. And what is one measure of volatility? I mean, quantitative. Well, volume and volatility are related, but not necessarily the same, right? Price action gives a clue. I don't want a clue. I want something quantitative. I want something to say, look, this fact that says low volatility. VIX, thank you. Great. So can you trade VIX? Yeah. So what is VIX typically? Give me a range. When we have reasonable, not crazy volume and volatility, reasonable volume and volatility. 13, I'm thinking like, yeah, I would have accepted like 15 to 20. Yeah, well, 15 is high, but it can't, it's like 9 or something, right? It was low as 8 something just, I think, yesterday. Yeah, so did you sell it? Is all I'm saying. Did you make money? How much money did you make? VIX futures chart. Let's see what's out there. Google it. So if you know it's going to happen, VIX futures, US SPX VIX futures advanced chart. All right, let's try that. Are we even going to get a chart after all that? Dude, could you put enough? I wish you could get more of a... Anyways, market watch. Guess I'm trying to get to like... Forget it. All right, forget it. Anyways, trading can be like, yeah, let's say, I would, honestly, I'd say 13 historically is even fairly low, but okay. 15 is fine. Some good trading times when the markets are moving, you get like VIX at 20. I've seen VIX at like 100 when things are bad. I'm just saying though, just put it in your little cap, your thinking cap, later today when you're smoking your cigar. Just say, well, if I knew July and August were going to be the months with low volatility, why didn't I trade the VIX with that in mind? Like, why didn't I sell the VIX? Okay. So I'm just throwing it out there. Could be an opportunity. And that's really what a trade plan, right? Right? That's what a trade plan is, isn't it? What did I say about oil my first day back? I've been away for an entire month, sitting at Harvard. Hadn't looked at a chart, hadn't listened to any news. I was only getting 3 or 4 or 5 hours of sleep every night, not even thinking about the markets. I come back, I open up an oil chart. Oil's been falling the whole time I'm gone, and I'm like, oh, look, it's going to go up. Trade plan, right? So it's not, see, that's one problem with technical analysis alone, is you're always looking at what happened in the past, where really I think in the long run, you're going to get paid by being able to predict what's going to happen in the future. Okay? Now, I look at the past to help with the price action. and discern areas where other traders are going to buy and sell. I mean, even if there's an uptrend, there's going to be traders selling, or there's going to be traders taking profit, right? So technical analysis helps with those levels, but it doesn't say, hey, this whole OPEC thing. So going back to this, I guess I got to zoom in now. Monthly M2. Unless, you know, this is our bottom in June. Wow. Very nice. Anyways, I thought we had a better cluster than that, didn't we? Weekly, monthly, just monthly M2. I thought we had a better bottom than that. I'm a little bit surprised now, looking back here. I thought we had something better than that. But anyways, double bottom. I thought we had a cluster of some sort. Monthly M2. I guess it was monthly M2. Monthly M2. I don't see the weekly, but there was something here. Anyways, we got it. I don't know. Maybe just dumb luck. I'm okay with that too. Psych level, yeah. Well, which means nothing to me. The big one was 42, which we knew from here. Because if you go back daily, I got to go back like a year. I mean, we know all of this. Right? Next one is 40, really. Might as well mark that just in case I forget. So here's the big question. If she drops now, it's got to go to 40. But wasn't I questioning on the way down, in particular this move, before I went to Harvard? Was I really, I mean, I think the way I remembered is, like, there's no reason for it to be at 40. I know it could, but really? That bad? And the reason I kind of cringe is there's a time when the market, let's just say, is in panic. Doesn't know where the bottom is, doesn't know what's going on. Everything that they had modeled has failed. Joe says we can't rely on OPEC's decisions anymore. Yeah, it's like kind of like Trump's tweets. Nobody cares anymore. But I don't think we're in panic anymore, right? Would anybody agree with that? I mean, sure, oil may be not, we may still be in a glut and all this kind of stuff, but I don't think we're in panic mode, are we? So if we're not in panic mode, isn't there just simply levels in which people will buy? They're like, yeah, that's cheap, that's on the low side. Like, think of the guys and gals that trade oil every day, or every week, or every month, or every quarter, depending on how big you are, right? And there's just a time when you buy. You're like, oh, anything below 45, I'm a buyer. And there's a part of me that believes that trading is kind of that easy. Now, you know, you got to dive into it, dial in, depending on what kind of market participant you are. But I think there's billionaires sitting around, yeah, I think anything around 45 will be good. Let's start buying, right? Have you seen Morgan Stanley trade? They're like that. They're like, buy oil around 45 and put a stop around 40? And it just looks like they're totally guessing every time. You're like, really? How'd you come up with 45? Hardcore analysis? Well, it's a nice number. And how'd you come up with the stop at 40? Well, I mean, seriously, this is how Morgan Stanley puts billions of dollars on the table. it felt good on the whole. And then you have Credit Suisse. Wait until it gets to 45 and then sell. You're like, dude, it's fallen 4 weeks straight. Now you want to sell? It's funny though. You got to know your banks, man. You got to know your banks. So I'm just saying you could do it a lot better than that. But on the long run though, like let's say you're a manufacturer of some sort and you use oil all the time. Whatever it is, you frack it for something, and for plastic, or maybe you're an airline and it gets fracked into jet fuel, and and is this an opportunity to hedge and all this kind of stuff? Yeah, when you get to these levels, like I guess going back to this, it was falling, but it starts falling. You get near some key technical areas and some key psychological areas, and if the world isn't panicking, then is it really going to fall to 35? I don't think so. 40? Like 40? It would be very, very low. So we have like soft support, hard support, right? Guess what? It's kind of bouncing in the soft support area. Great. Now if it comes back down, I know it's hard to see because I'm so zoomed out, but you got it. Okay. So if it did come down here, I would still probably look for this kind of stuff, right? And we've already bounced off this, if you're not so sure where we are. And now we're up here. Okay. I got to delete that red line. I drew it like a month ago, maybe many months ago. So anyways, we're kind of bouncing off this area, guys. Okay. So we were here, higher high, higher low, and maybe working our way north. Cool. Are we going to go to 60? No, I don't think so either, right? So remember, it's supply and demand, and if the world isn't in panic, someone's going to buy it at, let's say, 42. And I swear we talked about it on the way down, 42. But someone's going to buy it at 42 because it is 42. It's cheap. Okay? And just one other thing on here that's kind of in the back of my mind somewhere, because I know we got OPEC and all this stuff. But this whole June period, this whole period in here is supposed to be the peak in oil inventories. Okay? So when inventories are going up, price should fall. And then if we start drawing down these inventories, price should rise. And this is the month, and we talked about it month after month after month to prepare you. Okay? But in this giant black circle, it's surmised, it's predicted that somewhere in that black circle, oil will change direction for the rest of the year. Now, are you hearing that on television? I don't know, probably not. Are you reading it in newspapers and stuff? I don't know what you read, but probably not. But I know you and I have talked about this for years, in fact, right? You remember the whole 50 years worth of analysis? And my 50 years of analysis predicted that in this period here, you don't have to, but you could, based on 50 years of analysis, see a change of direction more focused on the upside than the downside. So we don't know if that's happened, but we do have a higher low. off of a pretty important bottom, right? Right? So maybe if it goes up, that's what we'll say. Oh well, it's that. But at the end of the day, I think the vast majority of people that bought it because it was 42, not because they did 50 years worth of oil inventory research. But this is a time when you buy, maybe, right? When oil inventories might drop. Maybe, right? It's whatever. Oh, it was gold. I was thinking oil, but here's the gold chart. First day back from Harvard. Here's our giant buy zone. No, that's not it either. I gotta go farther back. That's it there. Life is great, life is grand, life is good. Beautiful, huh? This whole area right in here. Projected bottom for the month of July. Okay. Right? And anyone that's completed the swing trading course knows that's an up. Right? A monthly up, not a weekly up. Le flexion. This bothers me in here on the short term. Look at this cheeky monkey. You like apples? How do you like them apples? Am I good chess player? I know how to play chess, but it's not something I do much, so no. But I probably could be. I had a roommate for a while in college and back in the early 90s, French guy. And he used to sit in the dark. This sounds weird, right? He used to sit in the dark playing chess by himself. Yeah, I know, a little weird. It's French. Yeah. What are you doing? You're like, oh, yeah, when I was younger, I'd sit in the dark and play chess by myself. Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, so he said when he was a kid, he and his brother would play, and they were that good, where they could just lay in bed. They wouldn't even have a chessboard. They would lay in bed and call out the moves, right? So one kid on one side of the room, the other kid on the other, just sitting in the dark, and they just call out the moves, and they could do it in their mind. Yeah, no, it wasn't John Nash. I would have come in like, damn, son, did you find that equilibrium? Oh, that's a suboptimal Nash equilibrium. I would have played best response if I were you. Effect. So anyways, what's going on here? What's the trade plan? That's a 4 hour. Let's look at it on a 1 hour. You should be able to like discuss this. You should be able to write 3 paragraphs. What's going on here? No. You can see that I'm in the trade, right? Let's get rid of this. Okay. Yeah, it's a weekly swing. Look at M3. Look at boom, 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 boom. Isn't that nice? So it might fall. What's my target? Okay. So let me do that. I'll get out a bit early to cover my spread. Cool. Smells like a plan. So at this point, I either lose 10 pips or I make, what, 150? Well, it's more than that, isn't it? 28 to 29, 29 to 30. Yeah, actually, it's 300 pips, right? All right, so I either lose 10 pips or I make 300. Yeah, but I don't have to do anything. Yeah, that's fine, Ryan. It's the other way of doing it. Now this one I was eyeballing a little bit earlier. I guess it was yesterday. Okay. The problem here is this is a buy zone. And I wasn't quite sure if it was ready to go up. But if it turns north here, then I would argue it is. Okay. Let's get rid of some of this. How embarrassing. We didn't hit our target. Actually, this is an R1 to S1. Nice. That's almost perfect. Weekly S1, weekly R1. Wow. That's cool. Right? Weekly R1 to weekly S1. That's the predicted range. Look, it closed right on the S1 pivot. Wow. G'day, mate. Ripper. So anyways, yeah, what do I want to do with this? You know, let me ask you, in your opinion, even though the yens were up while I was gone, did we discuss the yens coming down when I got back from summer school? Was that kind of the discussion? What do you have in your mind? Anybody? So that it might be happening, right? Yeah, don't be surprised if it comes all the way back. Yeah. And here's USD yen, right? I think it's harder to move. Like I said, we have probably 4 more weeks possible of yen strength. It's a long time. So you're going to wait for a 3-way correction? Okay. It's pretty conservative. Okay. You can see what happened. Somebody sold the 382 Fibonacci retracement. Right? Quite a coincidence that this is the 382 Fibonacci retracement. Quite a coincidence. Yeah, we're still futzing around on this thing. Yeah, the thought is, yeah, that it could come all the way back down to 75. Doesn't have to, but it may. So here's the CAD. Remember this big consolidation? We felt it could break out, and it broke out back into consolidation. But look at this. That's the conservative projected bottom for the month of July. Or as they say in the South, July! No, Polly. But Paul, you remember Kiwi Swissy as well, right? Oh, so I thought we had one there. Kiwi Swissy. You can tax that all night. Oh, did I just kill my entire charts? Gee whiz, Wayne. Incoming mail. How about Euro Yen? So I'm in a losing trade here, but what I have in play is this, starting with the weekly, okay, and a stop just below the low. And you're like, well, Wayne, that's completely against what you just said on the other pairs. I'm like, well, it's just a trade. So you can see with spread and stuff, I'm a little high, but it's no big deal. But when you open at this level, it's a buy. It's not like a fundamental trade. This doesn't have like weeks of data behind it. It's simply playing the pivot, the weekly pivot against the monthly pivot, right? So as long as my stop's below the double bottom, it's something, right? Yeah, but I've been in it for 24 hours, so whatever. So not 24, but you know, since yesterday afternoon. So anyways, you know, it's just a swing. It means nothing. Yeah, Nuno says there's some fun there. Just trade. Right, but you get it. If it bounces here, then we're going here. It'll probably take all week. Okay. Or I lose some money. Yes, we got an interest rate decision on Thursday, right? What if Draghi says, "Yeah, we're thinking about maybe tapering someday"? Boop, boop, boop. That'll be huge, huh? Taper tantrum. So, anyways, whatever. It's only money. Just beautiful clusters, huh? Can you imagine that someone doesn't use monthly or weekly pivots and they just didn't know this? They're like, oh, I wonder why it stopped there. 130.74. They must be defending 131. Right? Just amazing, huh? How obvious that is. Cheers, Jorge. You guys feel bad for the people that are trading and they don't know these things? Dude. Well, I have been teaching now for almost 15 years. So I've done my job, right? Right. All right. This one, huh? On fire. This girl is on fire. We're approaching the projected top. $78 and some change. 79. Where are we now? Yeah, I certainly wouldn't be buying anymore. Looks like it'll break, but the higher it goes, I think the more problems it's going to face. Pretty amazing, huh? And you don't get the counter trends. I don't think it's a coincidence that this area here is where it bounced. How many people have watched recently? I think I put it as part of summer school. The timing your trades using oscillators. I think the videos have a lot of views. Ooh, sorry. I thought I put it part of summer school. It might even be part of the scalping course. Yeah, I originally did the videos for FXCM. So let's see. Yeah. This is the bullish buy zone. Somebody bought it. So if it goes up and makes a higher high, based on technical analysis, I think this could be a problem. But really, it's trying to get higher. So why don't I mean, it's trying to get up here, right? What it says is probably not this week. And that this thing here should be a problem. Like, it's supposed to be the top this week. And so if it goes up further, then maybe it'll go up further next week. Okay? But that might drag that euro yen up, right? So we'll have to pay attention to that. Now you want to do beast, huh? Yeah, it's just old analysis. Yeah. Yeah, if I had to, see, I don't typically trade beast this time of year because you can get caught in the lack of volatility. But if I had paid attention, last night when I was setting up swing trades, that would have been a swing short for sure, eh? Oh, for sure. So yeah, no, so I gotta let it do its thing and maybe do the next one. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Didn't even look. So what we're looking for is something like this now. Peace. So yeah, so I got to pay attention to this one. Seems like it's a little choppy on the news and stuff though, which makes it less attractive to me. Like, to me, I think I'd rather play Aussie and Kiwi and just face the commodity demand issue than Brexit, because I don't know how to price that properly. Theresa May said this. Oh, the other guy said that. It moves. So anyways. This is where I'm most vulnerable, I think, on this trade. Is this move on the New York? So, I don't know. Is anyone going to get serious about this peso? Like next month, right? Like for sure next month. And next year, definitely VIX. Definitely going to trade the VIX. And how about like VIX? Are you going to be buying it in August? So just one other comment. I just pulled a muscle in my shoulder, so I think that's the end of the webinar. Oh, right here, there's a little muscle. Oh. And I can feel it goes all the way around to my back. Oh. Anyways, you monthly swing traders, anyone that's completed the monthly swing trading course will know that that's a sell zone to hold for the entire month. The projected bottom is here. Looks like you got one more day and time to take profit. Yeah, I totally do. Ugh. Yeah, I'd take the rest of the morning off and do that, but I have a conference call today with a guy with a lot of money, so I'll have to man up. Oh yeah, it totally is, Jim. Yeah, it's like if you don't know that stuff, it's just like, wow, all right. So, all right, I gotta go because I'm in terrible amounts of pain. Hang on. Oh, you know what it is? I went kayaking yesterday. Oh, it's just doing this. Yeah. Maybe I'll just jump on the lake and stretch it out and do some more kayaking or something. Oh. So anyways, hey, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. See, even I sit funny. Yeah, I think I am overdue. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And thank you for being a client of TradersWay. I hope to see you tomorrow. I'll be here. If you haven't opened an account yet, please visit TradersWay.com and open up a demo. Come on, it takes less than a minute. Seriously. Okay? See you tomorrow. Take care, guys.